Hi everybody, this is Shri. Welcome back to my channel Vedic Living. As promised, here's the predictions for the month of October for each sign. If you want to know what your sign or your Lagna is the first house in the chart. And if you don't know your chart, you can go to my website www.vedicliving.com and put in your information in the free chart calculator and know where your Lagna or your ascendant is. And if you don't know what your time of birth is, a lot of you sometimes tell me that you don't know what your time of birth is. If that's the case, then you can also look at where the moon is, because the moon is how you feel about things. So if you make the moon the ascendant, the chart will also be true for you because it's looking at it from the emotional side. So you can look at the Lagna or you can look at where your moon is. And if it is in one of these signs that I'm going to talk about, then those are your predictions. So as I have already told you in the October predictions video, this month is intense. We have a solar eclipse, we have a lunar eclipse, and we have Venus in Leo. We have a Saturn that's almost getting to stationing in Aquarius. And we have that really contentious Mars-Ketu conjunction happening in Libra, around that 1 degree mark in Libra. So this is what we're going to look at for each house or each sign when we look at the predictions for each zodiac sign. So without any further ado, let's go into looking at the sign of Aries. If your ascendant is in Aries or your moon is in Aries, then what that means is that first of all, you have been working really hard at doing things a different way. You have Uranus on your ascendant, transiting Uranus is on your ascendant. So you're looking at unique, amazing different ways, new inventions, new ideas coming to you. And you're also looking to expand yourself and how you think about things, your dreams and ambitions. You're looking to reinvent yourself. And with this month, that Mars-Ketu conjunction will happen in Libra. So that will be in your 7th house. So relationships will be a focus this coming month for you. So also remember, because you have those malefics sitting in the 7th house, this is not a great month for having deep discussions or, trying to create things with your business partner, with your spouse, because there can be some content. There may be some Mars related energy, some arguments, some disagreements. So remember that when you go into this. But you do have some really good transits happening as well. You have Venus in the 5th house, which means this is a month where you can create new things. It is all about that 5th house Leo creativity energy. Being in your 5th house, you will have a wonderful time with your children. You'll be able to create new things. You could start writing that book. Remember, I was telling you, Venus in the sign of Leo and Mercury being exalted. This is a great time to express yourself with the written word. Now, you may have been having some issue with friendships and problems around that area because Saturn has been in your 11th house. It's trying to teach you the reality of the people that you're associated with, people that you are with. And it's showing you the flaws or maybe even exposing things that were hidden in your friends and your social circles. So you have been learning a lot since January, since Saturn has been in Aquarius, regarding your social circles and your friendships. So all that energy is coming back to you as the self. You're focusing on yourself, how to improve yourself and your family, your children. That's where the energy is in this month for you. Now, if your ascendant is in Taurus or your moon is in Taurus, then you have to remember the sign Libra becomes your 6th house. So this month is about your health. This is a time to take care of your health, build your immunity, have your vitamins, make sure you take care. And, if you're traveling, take extra precautions because 6th house is where that Mars-Ketu conjunction comes in. So this is, try not to be in a hurry to get to places, make sure you're focusing when you're traveling or You may be looking into new ways to diet or exercise because you want to improve your health. The whole month will be focused on the 6th house area. Now, it is also very possible that you could be attracting some jealousy from people around you. Why? Because that Mars, Ketu, Sun combination is in your 6th house of enemies, and you have Jupiter, Rahu, Uranus in your 12th house of hidden enemies. So this is a time when there could be, hidden people around you who are jealous of you. They don't like your success, or you're realizing that there is a lot hidden here that you're kind of being exposed to, or you're seeing. And also remember, the nodes are there in the 6-12 axis for you. So you are understanding a lot about your associates, your co-workers, your neighbors, your cousins, that's all the 6th house, and your 12th house, which is hidden enemies. So, just be careful, because there's a lot of jealousy around you that can be exposed during this month. And I think a lot of this has to do with the fact that you have been having a rise in your career. Saturn is in your 10th house, which means, sometimes Saturn in the 10th house is not great for your career, because it can bring kind of like a feeling like you are stagnant and you want to move to a different place, or you want to improve yourself. But on the flip side, that ends up being a change for you in a good direction. Saturn brings something good at the end of its transit. So this is, definitely making you look at your current work situation. You're starting to think about, is this what you want? Do you want something else? You're having all those thoughts come in. So that will ultimately result in a good change in your career. But right now, it's that phase where you're doubtful, you're thinking. That's okay. This is all a part of this process. Venus is in your 4th house, so you're really connected to your home at this time. You want to make your home beautiful. You may be thinking about some renovations, or changing some things around, or decorating your home. Venus is all about beauty. You are connected to your home front. This is where you feel comfortable and connected. So, capitalize on that. If there is anything that you wanted to do, like, gardening, or it could be, decorating your home or changing something in your home. This is a beautiful time to do it. Venus is all about beauty and creativity in your 4th house of home, which also means that if your mother is still around, you could be spending more time with your mother. And this is a healing, beautiful time to spend with your mother. Because not only is Venus in your 4th, Jupiter is also aspecting it from your 12th. So this is going to heal your relationship with your mother and give you more time with her. In fact, also this is a good time for you to think about changes at the home, but also, if you want to do any kind of investments in terms of, real estate, or moving somewhere, that's also a good time for that. You could be thinking about that during this time. Now, if your ascendant or your moon is in the sign of Gemini, then this is a time when that Mars-Ketu conjunction comes in your 5th house, which means that you could be having some really heated discussions with your children. They may not be agreeing. There may be some butting heads there, which is okay. Your kids might be coming across as a little independent and stubborn. And Mars is a quick moving planet. So these transits, it's probably only going to last this month. So don't worry that it's long term. Just take a deep breath and let it, pass. And capitalize on the areas where there is the most energy in a positive way. This is not a good time for investments in the stock market or speculation because of that combination sitting in your 5th house. But in your friend circles, social circles, you will see a lot of growth, because Rahu, Uranus, and Jupiter all come in your 11th house of friends. You will meet some very influential people, some very powerful people. You could be meeting some foreigners, people from foreign cultures. And you're going to expand your thought, you're going to expand your business, your career, your life through these connections that you're forming in the 11th house of friends and social circles. You're meeting a lot of new people. I think this is beautiful for Gemini ascendant. Now, Venus is in your 3rd house. This is a beautiful time to create, to write, to publish that book, to express yourself in any way, not just writing. I always say writing because I feel like that's the most common way people express themselves, but it can also be speaking, conferences, speaking engagements, traveling. Third house is traveling. You may be thinking about traveling this month, and it's good time for that. Venus is sitting in your third house. Saturn has been in your ninth house, so you have not been feeling very lucky lately, because Saturn in the ninth house of luck and fortune can bring a little bit of a drag in that area where you feel like things are stuck sometimes. But because Saturn's in the ninth house, you're also looking at new ways of doing things. Remember, the ninth house is your truth, who you are, what you want to do. It's your version of your truth. So Saturn sitting there makes you question everything. It makes you think, is this the right thing to do? Just because everybody's telling me that I should, do this in religion or do this in philosophy, I'm going to find my own truth. And Saturn is very good at that in the ninth house. So that's absolutely a good thing. You may be looking at learning something new as well. Saturn brings a lot of karma in terms of higher education and learning. And this is a great time to expand yourself. Maybe this is where you're meeting all your new friends and your associates in the 11th house, maybe through the new things that you pick up to learn. So, focus your energy in those areas. Not a great time to invest in the stock market or anything like that, because that's the 5th house. And that is a little bit of a problem area this month. If your ascendant or your moon is in Cancer, then that means that, your home front is a little unstable at this time with the Mars-Ketu combination happening in the 4th house. You may be having some problems in the relationship with your mother. You may be seeing that there is some things around the home that need to be fixed. There's some repairs happening. It's frustrating you. It's sometimes a little annoying. You don't like that, and things are always breaking all the time because, this is Mars and Ketu in the 4th house. You'll feel a little unsettled. You'll feel like you want to just be at work, because with the Mars-Ketu combination happening in the 4th house, that puts the Jupiter, Rahu, Uranus all in the 10th house. So you may be spending more time at work because, you always have to balance between the two, right? 4th and 10th. Being a Cancer ascendant, this is a little difficult for you because you love your family life, you love your security, your home base, your, just that comfort level. But life is going to kind of push you this month to, outside your comfort zone and kind of be at work, and you love it. Because with the Jupiter, Rahu, Uranus in the 10th house, you're going to see expansion in your work. You may be seeing that there's an option for a promotion, or there could be a new job that you might be taking up, which will end up being better for you. There's going to be changes on the work front, which will ultimately be a good thing for you. In the 2nd house, you have Venus. So you are really focused on your finances and your wealth. You're looking at various ways to increase your income, how to make more money. You're really focused on that this month. And that puts Saturn in your 8th house, which means that, you're thinking about your spirituality, your metaphysics, and you're looking at new things you want to learn in the metaphysical area. But you also have to watch one time, because whenever Saturn comes in the 8th, you are going to see less money coming from other people. So if your spouse might be having some issues in their finances, or they may be looking at making changes in their job, something like that, which you may have to support for a little bit, being a Cancer ascendant. Because that Saturn goes to the 8th house, and the Venus in your 2nd house will give you the money to support that. So that's good. So everything balances out. So this month is going to be a little bit about that. So in the home front, you'll see some problems. Career will do well. And then you can really capitalize on that 10th house, which has to do with career growth. If you are ascendant or moon in Leo, then that puts the Mars-Ketu combination in your 3rd house of siblings. So, this is the month you need to kind of, restrain from being too close to your siblings, because there may be some arguments or disagreements there. Mars and Ketu in the 3rd house can mean that you argue with your siblings, or you may get hurt by them, or they may argue with you, or something like that. So there can be some issues in that area. 3rd house also being your self-expression, you will kind of automatically start thinking that you want to be more reserved. You want to hold everything into yourself because you're looking to be more introspective this month. Absolutely. Now, Saturn is in your 7th house. A lot of things are going on with relationships, which you've been realizing. Saturn brings a lot of karmic lessons in relationships. It's a testing phase of your relationship. So if you have a very strong base foundation, then everything will be good, because you're going to learn from these things, learn more about your partner, learn more about yourself, and then ultimately the relationship will be stronger because of all this. It will put Rahu and Uranus all in the 9th house. So you're thinking of learning new things. You want to travel. You want to meet new people. You want to expand your thought system, your belief system. You want to learn a lot more. You know, whenever you have these planets in the 9th house, you pick up new things to study and learn. And you want to teach. You will be looking at people who come to you for advice. You may see that people come to you asking for help. And it puts all these planets in the 9th house of your father. So if your father is around, this is a time when you may be more connected to him, or you may be spending more time with him. If your ascendant or moon is in Virgo, then that means this month the difficulty is going to be around money and finances, because the eclipses will be happening in your money houses. Plus you will have Mars and Ketu conjunction happening in your 2nd house. So you may be seeing there's more expenses than money coming in, and you'll feel a little insecure about finances this month, because you see this drain happening in terms of, you know, your finances. So you're looking, how can I make more money? How can I bring in a different revenue stream? Or how can I expand or even save my money better or invest it better? You're thinking about everything that has to do with material wealth and assets and money and finances because of that. Because even though Mars, Ketu, Sun are in your 2nd house, the 8th house of money that comes to you from other people has Jupiter, Rahu, and Uranus all sitting there. And the eclipses are happening there. So a lot of things are being exposed to you in terms of finances and money, and things that you've been doing wrong that you can improve on, and things that you've been doing right that you can expand on. These are the things that you will be learning this month. And it's all important because in future, as you grow your career and your business, all this knowledge will come into play there. Venus is in your 12th house, which means you may be looking to travel to a foreign place. 12th house is foreign lands. And also because Venus is in the 12th house, you will be meeting more foreign people from foreign cultures. You may be having some friends of that sort who come into your life. And, you know, Saturn sitting in your 6th house, you have been realizing a lot of things about your health. You have been more disciplined about your routine, your diet, your exercise, your stress. You've been managing your stress, or you've been trying to manage your stress in a much better way. With all these planets sitting in 6, 8, 2nd, and 12th. So for Virgo ascendants, this is a very, very strong spiritual time where there's a lot of introspection going on, a lot of realization going on. This month, you will be realizing a lot of truths, because these are not, external houses. These are all internal, right? They are called Dusthana in Vedic astrology, but in reality, they are internal to you. They are connected to your subconscious mind. It's a beautiful time this month, during the month of October, for Virgo ascendants. Learn to meditate, learn to connect yourself, because those energies are all in your 8th and 12th houses. So you can really connect to the other side and get all the answers for your questions. Okay. If your ascendant or your moon is in Libra, then this month you will be realizing a lot of important things about yourself, because that Mars, Ketu, Sun combination is all in your 1st house of self. So you are realizing that there were some things that you did in the past, some things from the past might come back. And whenever I talk about this, when I talk about the past, remember the last time the eclipses happened here was 2004 and 2005. So anything that happened back then is what is getting resolved now. This is the full cycle of it. So think back to what happened back then. And this is the cycle ending for whatever that was. So being a Libra ascendant and the eclipses happening right there, you're realizing a lot of things about yourself and your partner. relationship partner, business partner, whoever that may be. A lot of realizations are hitting you as to, how they are and how you are and how you guys can work together. And this is so important for your growth, for your spiritual growth, because the nodes are here. This is karmic, okay? So this is, and another thing also is, you will notice that you're spending more time with your spouse, you're spending more time discussing things with them or understanding things with them, understanding each other. Beautiful time for that. Saturn's in your 5th house, which means there's a lot of karmic lessons going on with your creativity, with your children. So, those connections are getting really, really tested at this time. So, even though your children might be pushing your buttons a little bit, this is the time to understand that this is all destined as per the karma. So, you have to kind of understand the best way to deal with it, because Saturn will test that relationship. And you learn a lot through this cycle, and that will make your relationship with your children even more stronger. Venus is sitting in your 11th house. You're meeting a lot of new people. You're expanding your friend circle, your associations, especially females, women. You're meeting powerful women who are in good places, and you're creating connections with them, networking with them. And that could also bring in career growth during this time frame for you. If you're a Scorpio ascendant or Scorpio moon, then that means that you may be having some problems sleeping this month, because in the 12th house will be Mars-Ketu conjunction, and then there's also Sun sitting there in your 12th house. So you are thinking a lot of thoughts are going through your mind. You're not able to stop that. And also, Mercury sitting in the sign of Virgo is, continuous thinking, right? You're constantly thinking. So this is a time for you to relax, to calm down, find your inner peace, and make sure you sleep, because it can cause health problems otherwise, because Jupiter, Rahu, and Uranus are all sitting in your 6th house of health. So this is all connected, right? So you have to watch your health. You have to watch your routine so that you can do well in life. And with Jupiter sitting there, a lot of knowledge and enlightenment will come to you in terms of your health. You'll realize a lot of things. You'll look at new ways of exercising or new diets, or you'll be really focused on it. Wherever the planets go is where your focus is. So, with the 6th house being affected, you're really thinking about your health. Now, just like the Taurus ascendant, Scorpio will also have these planets in the 6-12 axis. So watch out for jealousy and people around you who may not be what they seem, because you are becoming successful. And that means that there is some jealousy here. So, you have to really connect to yourself and be more introspective during this time frame, and keep an eye on, your surroundings, because this is a time when there can be some things that are exposed to you, or, some flaws that have already been there in the people around you that is being exposed to you. So it's important to learn that as well. Saturn has been sitting in your 4th house, so you are more connected to your home. You're really, really rooted in your home and in your base, your foundation. You have been looking at changing things there. Saturn can make you feel a little dissatisfied with the way your home is currently, but ultimately you will make some changes which will turn out to be good in the long run. If your ascendant or your moon is sitting in Sagittarius, then that means that you have to watch your friendships this month, because in this month you have malefics, Mars and Ketu, Sun sitting in your 11th house, which means that when you talk to your friends, what you're saying can be misunderstood, misinterpreted. There can cause arguments, disagreements. There can be some anger and some flare-ups because of that. So this is a time to be careful with the way you speak and interact with your social circles, with your friends. And, that means that it will put Jupiter, Rahu, Uranus all in your 5th house. So you're spending more time with your children. And you're being incredibly creative in this month, because that's a lot of energy in your 5th house of creativity and making something new happen. So you could be writing, you could be creating something new, you could be building jewelry or creating jewelry, something like that, which is all about creation. This is a good month for investments, because the 5th house is the house of speculation, and you have Jupiter sitting there. Although I have to warn you, with Uranus sitting there, there can be some unexpected ups and downs when it comes to your investment. So be very careful when you do that. Saturn is in your third house, so you have been a little distant from your siblings. You probably, haven't had a chance to talk too much, and that's going to be this month for you because, Saturn's still there. Saturn's actually there for another year, a year and a half. So this is just the trend for this time frame when Saturn is in Aquarius for you. You're figuring out your relationship with your sibling. It does bother you that you're not able to spend that much time with the siblings of yours. So that's okay. And at the end of this transit, you're going to realize the best ways to make that connection more fruitful and make it more healing for both of you. Venus comes into the 9th house for Sagittarius ascendant or Sagittarius moon. So you're looking at learning new things. You want to travel, you want to see the world, you want to experience different cultures. And, being a Sagittarius ascendant, that's who you are. So this is really going to help you. You have Jupiter in the 5th and Venus in the 9th, nothing better than that. This is a very good month for you. You're going to be very lucky and fortunate in this month. If your ascendant or your moon is in Capricorn, then that means this month is going to be about your career. So be careful when you have discussions with your management at work or your boss at work, your co-workers, because, you have malefics, Mars and Ketu sitting in your 10th house. There can be the same things I said about misunderstanding and misinterpreting, all that can happen in terms of your career. So you have to be careful. If you have meetings, be careful what you say or how you say it. And, that's you may see some disagreements and arguments going on from your work front. But then that puts Jupiter, Rahu, Uranus in your 4th house, which means you spend more time at home. You're really focusing on your home front. You want to make things beautiful. You want to expand things. Jupiter and Rahu are both about expansions. So you may be looking at buying a better house or a bigger house or expanding your current house or renovating, something of that sort. And you may spend more time with your mother in this time frame. Saturn in your 2nd house has been making you a little worried about your finances because Saturn makes you think, is there something more I can do to make my wealth better? Can I save better? Can I invest better? So this has been the ongoing trend since January. Since January, Saturn has been sitting in your 2nd house. And you are really looking at various ways to save and invest because you want to make sure that you do the smart thing. So that's definitely the case. So, there may be a little more expense in the month of October, but as you go forward into next year, your finances will get much better. If your ascendant or your moon is in Aquarius, then that means that Venus goes into the 7th house for you, which means this is a beautiful time for your relationship. Saturn is in your 1st house, Venus in your 7th house. So you're really not only looking at how you can change yourself and learning new things about yourself, and you're thinking, okay, how can I do this better? But you're also focusing on your spouse, and you're having a good experience from your relationship with Venus being in the 7th house. That's a good thing. Your spouse will be very creative in this time frame because that Venus is in the 7th house. Now, your 9th house has Mars, Ketu in it, which means that this may not be a great month for traveling for you. Okay, 9th house is long distance travel. Mars and Ketu there is not great for traveling. Even if you do travel, there will be some, things that make you annoyed and angry, like, loss of baggage or delayed flights or cancellations, those kind of things. So yeah, this is probably not a good month for you to travel. But, Mars Ketu in the 9th house can also mean that you're looking at some spiritual things that you want to learn. You want to increase or expand your spirituality. You want to learn new things. Absolutely. Now, 3rd house will have Jupiter, Rahu, and Uranus. Again, Rahu, Uranus in the 3rd house, not a great combination for travel. And Jupiter is retrograde. So that is also not doing much good there. But with the 3rd house having these planets, you are absolutely looking at learning new things, okay? 3rd house, it's about learning, writing, teaching, and, you want to expand your knowledge. That's what you're thinking. You're constantly looking at what can I research? What can I learn? Being an Aquarius ascendant, that puts exalted Mercury transiting in your 8th house. So you're looking to research, you want to learn new things, you want to dig deep, find out more things, and you're constantly trying to watch videos or search on Google and find all these truths. So this is the month where you'll be doing all of that. The main focus this month is absolutely going to be you, because Saturn is sitting on your first house. So you're really focused on yourself and your growth. Now, if you're a Pisces ascendant or Pisces moon, that puts the Mars-Ketu combination in your 8th house. So you are realizing a lot of things from the past. Subconsciously, things are coming up, they're bubbling up in your mind. Saturn goes into your 12th house of sleep and dreams. So watch your dreams at this time. They may be really, really messages from your mind and your subconscious as to what are those things that you have pushed away in the past, you've not resolved, and they're coming back up again, because ultimately you have to resolve it. So this is the month where that will happen for you, because remember, the eclipses are also happening there. So a lot of things from the past are coming out, right? You're realizing things that you may not have resolved in the past. They're coming back for resolution, and that's okay. It's all that cleanup is going to happen now. Jupiter, Rahu, Uranus in your 2nd house has been making money and finances a little better for you, because you're really focused on it in this time frame. Even during this month, they are in the 2nd house, and they've always been in the 2nd house anyway, previous months also. So since April, in fact, you would have seen more expansion in terms of the work that you're doing. You may have changed jobs during this time. You will be looking at making more money. Your mind is focused on finances, wealth, and money. That's just the way it is when these planets are in the 2nd house. And you have Venus in the 6th house, which means you're looking at your health. You're looking at how you can make things better in your routine. Maybe there was an imbalance there that you need to now fix, take less stress or fix your immunity or something. So you're focused on that as well. Saturn in the 12th house means your sleep is probably getting impacted a little bit. So, just like I was saying for Scorpio ascendant, Pisces ascendant also will have to take care of their sleep. They'll have to meditate, calm their mind, because your mind is constantly racing. So you have to really do extra to make sure that you sleep and bring your stress levels down. So those are the predictions for the signs for the month of October, with the eclipses happening there. And, I hope you kind of got what you wanted. I'll see you next time in my next video. Thank you so much for watching.